Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the first edition of Miller Time with Big T. I'm your host, Big T Miller, and here we are on the first edition of our podcast. I'm joined tonight by my producer, the man about town, the brains behind this outfit, my firstborn son, Balake Miller. Blake, what's going on?
What's happening there, T?
Well, he's hanging out, ready to get this thing going. How about you?
It's about the same.
How was your day? How was your day today?
Well, it's a high of 40 with a wind chill below 35, so not much golf happening today.
What do golf pros do on a day like today? Play Wordle or something all day?
Order stuff for the year in January, pay invoices.
Do you know
look
what
at all the
Wordle
new
is?
merchandise. Yeah, and I don't need to know what Wordle is because I don't need it. I don't do it. What do you do all day?
I watch Fox News and
that's great.
Watch golf this afternoon over there in California. Watching some this morning with the ladies in Florida. So I had a lot of thinking to do today about what we're going to talk about tonight. But in all seriousness, first thing I want to talk about is why we're doing this. And, a lot of reasons for this, mainly it gives me something to do, think about. But, everybody knows that 6 years ago, I had got implanted with a LVAD, which is a left ventricle assisted device. And I'm not going to go into the details about how it works or anything like that, but my listeners out there can Google it, LVAD, and it would tell you exactly what it is. LVAD, tell you exactly what it is. Most of my friends probably really don't know what it is and what it does, but it's definitely changed my life. I mean, I wouldn't be here without it. So one of the big reasons, I wanted to do this podcast is, to talk about stuff, but to bring awareness to the LVAD and UAB Hospital and what they've done for me. And, this has been a big change for me. I don't get out and about nearly as much as I used to. Don't really get out that much anymore at all between the LVAD and COVID. And even my wife got COVID this week. So she's doing fine, by the way. But, just for a way to me get the word out, get my, I'm sure most of my friends, since they don't get to see me anymore or as much, they're just waiting for my opinions. So this is a way for me to get those out. When we're going to talk about sports, obviously, most of you know that I've been involved in football officiating since 1985. That's before you were born, Blake.
Yep, 11 years to be exact.
Yeah. And we're going to talk about sports, football, officiating, and we'll touch on other topics too. We'll talk about news, local events, local politics, national politics, basically whatever I want to talk about. Or if Blake wants to bring something to the table, we might let him throw something in there. And if you guys want us to talk about something, you can just hit us up. Where, Blake? Where can they find us?
They can friend Thomas Miller on Facebook. You can follow the Thomas Miller on Twitter, which I recommend everyone do, because you never know what T Miller is going to throw out there, and it might make your day or make your month. It might even make your year. He's probably one of the best follows on Twitter. All my friends love when you tweet.
Do they?
Oh, dude, when you send something out that is
you need to tell them to, pass that around so I can get more followers.
I think they've helped you out very good. They've helped your ratio out. Every time you you post a banger on Twitter, they're all hitting me up in our little group chat.
Maybe I can get to
Everybody's
1
loving
million
it.
followers.
Well,
Maybe I can get high enough where I can get that blue check mark.
Tristan Rupert's got the blue check mark, so you don't have to go very high.
Whatever that means. I don't even know what that means, but
Obviously,
maybe we can reach up that. Tell them what our website is.
BigTofficiating.com.
That's
on
right.
the website.
BigTofficiating.com.
On the website, you can. We got information about the upcoming officiating clinic, which we'll get into. Upcoming inaugural Big T Invitational, which we'll get into a little bit, and just really any information about officiating, for as far as it goes for JUCO, and any information about other clinics, and be a good website for upcoming officials to get information for, and things like that.
Right. And flipping back to, the plans for the podcast, we probably will have a guest. I'd like to have a guest, maybe not every week, but, at least, 2 out of every 3 or something like that. We plan to do this maybe weekly, maybe every other week, make it a routine. Some of that's going to depend on, we've got to figure out exactly how to, we're new to this. So it's a learning curve for us, and we're going to be editing it. Hopefully that won't take long. So we'll be out and about. Yeah. My right-hand man will be editing this, and just waiting on me to holler at him and get him spurred up in the moment. So we'll be doing that, getting this out as soon as possible. So those are some of the topics that we're going to touch on, with our guest, and, moving forward, that's what we'll do. So that being said, let's talk about sports real quick. We got the NFL big weekend coming up. Was it 4 big games? 2 on Saturday, 2 on Sunday. There's some pretty good games there. I looked at them today, and any of them really jump out at you, Blake?
They all do. They all got to. I think all of them are rematches, or 3 of the 4 are rematches, or something like that. You got the Bucks and the Rams. That's going to be a good one.
Yeah.
I'm
kind of pulling for the Rams in that one.
Probably one of the hottest. Why?
Just to take down Tom Brady pretty far.
They screwed the Saints. The Rams did.
They both did last year.
I hope they both
Bucks
lose.
took it from them. Yeah, I don't think that can happen.
But
anyway.
You got that game. You got the Bills and the Chiefs. That's probably what everybody wants. You got the Bengals and the Titans. Bengals and the Titans. That's going to be
I don't like that Mahomes. You know why I don't like the Chiefs?
Because of his brother.
Mahomes. What an idiot. How does that guy get to go out on the field before the games and film TikToks?
Because his brother's the highest paid player in the NFL.
How does the NFL let him do that? And he's just a twerp, man. You ever seen any of those? You think he gets for the different stuff? You think he bats with the other team? That's probably not appropriate to say on a podcast.
First episode, we're getting out there.
What do you think?
I don't care what the dude does.
He's an idiot, and he needs to quit. They need to make him quit. That's a problem.
Pretty funny. I like. It's funny.
But Patrick needs to, tone that down. He needs to step up, or he's going to have problems down the road. But that's just my opinion. There goes one of those Big T riffs that everybody's looking for, right? Well, so those are some good games coming up. But I'm kind of interested to see, how the officials do. Because if my understanding, the Super Bowl officials will come out of this week's officials. One of these crews will be assigned to the Super Bowl, is how I believe that works. So I'm kind of interested to see, how they do and where they shake out. They had a couple of hiccups last week. You know, one thing we didn't talk about was the inadvertent whistle that they didn't really own up to.
Oh,
That
in
was
the
in
Bengals
Steelers
game, yeah.
Yeah,
No,
yeah, yeah.
that was this
The
past.
Steelers and this past weekend.
It was the Bengals
They,
in the
what did the Steelers?
No, it was the Bengals and the Raiders.
Raiders.
Yeah,
Whatever game it was, but yeah, they had an inadvertent whistle in that
yeah.
game.
Nobody
It just goes,
that
what
was
is the
talked about on
call?
Sunday, and then never talked about again.
What's the cardinal sin of officiating? Cardinal sin of officiating. Have
Well,
I
don't.
preached keep your whistle out of your mouth and don't blow the whistle early? I mean,
That's
that's
not what I
one
was
of
going
the
to say,
worst
but
things. That's one of the worst things you can do as an official. And it just goes to show, even if all guys can do it. But, you know, on the flip side of that is if you do it, own up to it. And I don't believe they owned up to it the other day. They tried to pass it off that it was after the play.
yeah, they got lucky. They got lucky with the way the
Yeah,
play
but
turned out, and there
still
was a
got to own
way
up to
to pad it,
yeah,
but
they certainly did.
it could have been
But in
really ugly.
retrospect, they should have replayed the down, really. What they should have
Well,
done. But
they
you know,
didn't.
I'm not running that league. But anyway, that's the way it is.
We know.
You know, another topic in sports that we'll flip to real quick that I'm kind of, you know, don't understand is the transfer portal. I just saw again today where quarterback from Mississippi State, was it Abraham from Oxford?
Yeah,
He's
he
in the
transferred.
transfer portal. I mean,
For
how many
what?
schools has he been to? He was at Northwest.
Oh, he was at La Tech. Then he went to Northwest. Then he went to Southern. Now he's
Then
at
went to
State.
State.
Now he's going
Somebody said he's going to Ole Miss.
to do what?
They said he's already enrolled in classes.
Ain't no
He'll
way.
be the only quarterback to ever play for all three schools. That's what they said.
I'm saying if Twitter, so what says Twitter says about that. Let's see.
I mean, it's
That's
crazy.
crazy.
I mean, but this transfer portal is, you know, I see all these guys from Ole Miss and, you know, all the schools. They put out this long page about, you know, I love Ole Miss or I love Mississippi State. I'm going to bleed red and blue. I'm going to bleed maroon and white. I'm always going to be a rebel. But for this next year, I'm taking my talents to a new school. Well, what the hell? You're going to bleed red and blue, except for this year? I mean, I don't get it. John Reese Plumlee, you know, made that, you know, the nicest write-up about Ole Miss. And, hey, more power to them. But don't sit there and say you're going to bleed red and blue forever when you leave it. You know, I just don't get it. You know, I don't get it. I saw, you know, also, let's hit on what's going on in Oxford. Another coach leaves today. Terrell Buckley.
Yeah, I think another one left too.
They agreed to part ways. So, you know, it's a little concerning to me about what's going on in Oxford with, I mean, revamping not only the roster, but the coaching staff.
Well, I think the
you know,
coaches, I mean, most of the coaches that have left, they have gotten a bigger role for the most part.
Well, I don't know, but I just, you know, obviously, in case our fans don't know, you and I are both Ole Miss fans, so we'll tend to talk about them more than anybody else. But you know, that is concerning heading into 2022. You know, where we are with our program. You would think after a 10-3 season, there'd be a little bit more stability, but we'll see what happens down the road. So moving forward from that tonight, since we're not going to spend a whole lot of time on some of these topics, let's talk about our golf tournament coming up. Blake, you want to expound on that a little bit and tell them what's going on, when and where, and what we're
First
doing?
annual Big T Invitational will be May 19th. It'll be a 4-man scramble at Hattiesburg Country Club. It'll be an 8 a.m. shotgun start. What's your motive behind the golf tournament? Why? I know you've always wanted to do some sort of a golf outing with the JUCO officials, but why? What's the motive in your eyes?
Well, Blake, there's a couple reasons. Number one, you're right about doing an outing with some of our officials, and hopefully we'll get some of the coaches to attend. You know, I plan to invite some of my officiating brothers from, you know, my past officiating, you know, the Sun Belt guys, the SEC guys. You know, I've got some friends at Conference USA, you know, just for everybody to come together, local friends, you know, just to kind of have a big get together for all of us. Now, I wanted to have especially in the last few years, I've been thinking about this, to have a charitable aspect to it. And, you know, we go back to the LVAD, and UAB Hospital has been, you know, great to me. I mean, obviously, you know, I wouldn't be here probably without them, and, you know, my family, my wife especially. But, you know, I wanted to kind of be able to tie this back to them in some way. So the proceeds for this tournament, we're going to donate to the LVAD program or to the UAB foundations at UAB Hospital. And that'll be a way for us to tie some, you know, a charitable end to the tournament. You know, we're inviting anybody to play. You know, hopefully that we'll get a large turnout, you know, for the first year of this. You know, next year we may try to do it on a different day, different time. You know, it's on a Thursday morning, which just was the kind of way it best worked. But I think we'll be able to get a turnout. And, you know, that's kind of what we're looking for. You know, you could sign up as a team, you can sign up individually, and we'll put together a team. We're going to have a pre-tournament, what do you call it, Blake? Pairing party.
Sure.
Wednesday night.
Sounds great.
Tell them the cost, what it costs to play.
$100. Gonna be $100 for per player. It's gonna include a tea gift and lunch. Not sure what the tea gift's gonna be yet.
What about sponsorships?
Gonna have whole sponsors. Still looking for a presenting sponsor or title sponsor.
Yeah,
we'll
if anybody has
all
businesses
kind of
out
whole
there,
sponsorships.
if any of you have business out there or connections that would want to be a presenting sponsor, I'd love to have something, you know, whether it be Blake Miller Incorporated, which I know that ain't gonna happen, but you know, we need a, you know, it could be the Big T Invitational presented by XYZ, and your company name or whoever it might be will be in the bright lights at the tournament. So, you know, if you know somebody might want to partner with us, please let us know. Reach out to us and keep us in the loop on that. So again, that's May 19th. You can register by going to our website at bigtofficiating.com. What's that again, Blake?
BigTofficiating.com. You don't have to spit it out so fast.
Now,
Nice and
tell them
smooth.
about our
Nice and
tell them
smooth.
about our clinic that we're going to have. That's mainly for officials. Speak
Yep.
to them about that.
So for anybody, I get this question all the time going through officiating. How do you move up? Everybody wants, you know, nobody really knows how do you go from a peewee official to high school to college to down up the ladder. Well, if you're a high school official, the way to move up or way to break into college, and especially around here in Mississippi, is you want to officiate in the Mississippi Junior College Association, the MACCC. You want to go officiate Mississippi Gulf Coast, East Mississippi, everybody that's going to play at Alabama, at Ole Miss, Mississippi State. They're going to play, the in the SEC. The talent in the Mississippi Junior College is by far probably the best in the country as far as the JUCO conference. Has the most teams, some old rivalries that you just can't top. So to break into the junior college officiating, none other than Mr. Thomas Miller hosts a officiating clinic that basically, if you want to move up and break into junior college officiating, you have to attend to be seen. And the clinic consists of 3 days of actual on-field games. There's high school spring jamborees that we'll go out there and officiate, and we'll have people, clinicians from the SEC and the Sun Belt and Conference USA and Big 12 and Gulf South.
Let me interject there something, Blake. This also, in order to get to that point, like Blake's talking about, you need to learn the mechanics. And our mechanics, we focus on 7 and 8 man mechanic, which is mainly what the colleges are doing. But by the same token, if your aspiration is to be the best high school official that you can be, you can learn something by coming to this camp. You may not be able to go forward and, go to the NFL or go to the SEC or go to JUCO, but you can be the best you can be in high school, and this camp has something for you. The things that you're going to learn and get by, it's well worth the time and effort. So please give it a consideration, as we move forward with that. Where can you register, Blake?
BTofficiating.com.
Everything's on there, for you to sign up and register. If you have any questions, our contact information is on there. Don't hesitate to reach out. Reach out to me or Blake. And I think if you're interested in becoming official, it's a great place to start. So Blake, tell me about your experience. Let's flip back to the LVAD a little bit. What's your experience been with, me having the LVAD? What kind of, what'd you think about that at first?
Well, like you said earlier, I mean, I didn't know what an LVAD was. You didn't know what an LVAD was. And still so many people probably don't know. I mean, it's not a common thing. It doesn't happen to a lot of people. People think it's considered like I hear, oh, your dad's got a pacemaker or a defibrillator, which that's completely different.
Yeah.
Pacemaker is like in you.
I get that question a lot too.
LVAD is in you and comes out of you. You have a drive line,
a cord
going into your stomach basically, and something that has to be tended to and changed a lot. So just learning, I mean, it was a whole different world, having to do basically having something that had to be done on you pretty much every day to keep up and clean and make sure you didn't get infected.
You know who else learned how to do that bandage?
Who's that?
Steve Sanders and Tammy. Dad never changed me though. They probably forgot about it.
Probably so.
Yeah, but it's definitely had an effect on you, and I'm sure Carly and Blake's been a trooper, and so has Carly, and it's been great to have you, and obviously Betsy. Without her, she's the one I have to deal with every day. I would have her on here today, but she's got COVID. Imagine that. She went to Disney World and came back with COVID. What do you think? But anyway,
everywhere right now.
So the last few weeks, Blake, you got a new job, right? Or you got
That's
a promotion.
correct. Yeah, that's the right word to say.
So
Promotion.
you're now the head golf pro at Hattiesburg Country Club. You want to tell us a little bit about your country club and where you are and what's going on there?
Well, like you said, Hattiesburg Country Club. I've been there for 3.5 years. Old club. Hosted a PGA tournament for 25 years, which no other.
It's now the Sanderson Farm,
which has now turned into the Sanderson Farms. I mean,
Stewart.
Not many golf courses can say they've hosted a PGA
Payne
tournament
Stewart
for
won there.
25 years. Payne Stewart won. Craig Stadler won. I mean, everybody. It was from 1968 to 1993, so it was the same week of the Masters. So pretty much everybody that was coming up, if you weren't in the Masters, you were coming to play in this. So it was kind of a smaller tournament, but everybody coming up played in it. Everybody, Tom Watson, Johnny Miller, Nick Faldo, you name it, they were there. So just being at an old club with a lot of history, and it's been pretty nice. It's been something I've been working towards for a few years now. Been working towards it, and now I'm here.
Yeah, well, that's great. You know, we're proud of you. You know, you've come a long way since I had you rolling in the floor with Steve Sanders on the concrete floor back in the old days. I'm sure he would appreciate that, but it was hard to get you to roll, and you've come a long way. You outkicked our expectations, but I'm sure you got a bright future. And you know, you need to tell Hattiesburg Country Club right here that we get them a little plug out there that they might need to step up and become a sponsor or something for our podcast. They're going to get free airtime every week. Just saying. All right, so one other thing we're going to talk about, or I'd like to hit on before we put a lid on it, as they say in the media term world, the merchandise. We're going to have some merch coming out. I don't know if you can see my Big T hat, but we're going to have some shirts, T-shirts coming out probably the next week. We'll have them posted on our website. Proceeds from that will go towards the foundation, the LVAD Foundation. So hopefully some of you can grab up some of that and wear it with pride. You know, we might be the next Vineyard Vines, who knows? But, you know, that would be great. And we'll have that to peddle, and we'd like for you to look it up. And where can they find the merch at, Blake?
Big T, well, not anywhere yet, but when it'll be available, it'll be available on bigtofficiating.com.
Okay, where can people find this podcast once we get it up running?
It will be posted on your Facebook page. It will be posted on your Twitter. It will be posted on the website.
Okay.
bigtofficiating.com, and it will be posted on YouTube.
And we'll let it out on Twitter. It'll probably be a couple of days before it's out, but you know, we're shooting to, hopefully it won't take as long to get it edited, and you know, we'll have it out there.
There he goes with the us again.
Yeah, we'll have it out there pretty quick. But you know, to make a wrap of it tonight, you know, seriously, you know, we look to have a little fun with this. We were kind of happy with some of the things we talked about tonight. You know, we plan to keep this, you know, 30 minutes at the most, you know, short and sweet. We don't want to bog people down with listening. We hope to do some fun things every week, and we're not going to be talking about LVADs and that kind of crap every week. We just want to get into, you know, kind of give you an outline of where we are and where we're going. I was surprised that, you know, some of the reaction I got from my Twitter about, that we're doing this. So I'm excited about,
and your Facebook as well.
yeah, I'm excited about, seeing where we go, and, hopefully we can build us a little niche following and have some fun with it. And that's what it's all about, having a little fun. So Blake, anything you want to share before we sign off? Well, let's put a lid on it. As they say, everybody have a good night. Stay safe. Be cool.